In Your House 2021.
Oh,
It didn't feel like it was 5 matches. I mean, mainly because they had time, man.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy it because I enjoyed it. Granted,
same.
there were certain things, certain matches that I almost didn't that I almost didn't agree with. But overall, takeover is gonna take over.
Yes.
I mean, have any overall thoughts on like
But let's just go ahead and just get this out the way.
Oh,
Go ahead, Mr. 5-0.
you
yeah.
Go ahead and get your look and all that. Go on, do what you gonna do.
What is
Go
it?
ahead.
Pop off, as the kids say nowadays.
Yeah. Go
I mean,
ahead.
look, I'll say this. When this prediction thing happened, I didn't think that I would sweep the board. I figured that I would get some shit right, but I didn't think that I would sweep the board. I mean,
Oh,
coming from the beginning of the show. I mean, you think about the 6-man tag. When that happened, I was like, cool. I'm on the board. And then the next match happened, and see what really got it was when LA Knight won the match. That's when I was like, oh, this could be a thing. I could possibly sweep the board here, and that's truly what happened. And Cross made it happen.
crossing on
At
cross.
at the end of it. If we were doing like Cultaholic, What Culture, who else is doing the belts? Wrestle Talk. If we had a prediction belt, I'd probably be champ right now. Be like a predictions champ. Be cool.
As of right now.
Yeah, as of right now, until the next.
I'd be coming for that belt though.
Yeah, see. So I mean, I guess the unofficially official Lip Dizzle makes sense now. So I'm gonna hold that imaginary title, or no, sorry, the imaginary crown, right there. Just bam.
Hey, are you a watcher of Botchamania?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean I do, but
you talk too much.
Fair enough. Well, you know what? Let me stop gloating and talking about my crown. Let's talk about what went down in your house.
Bahars, and he had to dip. You killed him.
Scoot's gonna come back with a vengeance on the next pay-per-view, which is more than likely gonna be shit. I don't know. When's the next pay-per-view? Is that gonna be
Is that Hell in a Cell?
Hell in a Cell, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
He might end up taking that one. But yeah,
First
let's
things first.
Yeah, takeover. Let's get into it. So the first match, I didn't expect this one to be it, but the 6-man tag for the North American Championship, NXT Tag titles. Yeah, this match was probably the best way to go as far as starting off, and they definitely did their thing. This match in itself changed my perspective on Bronson Reed, like a lot, because the way I was looking at him before was more so like, I didn't want to say transitional champ or interim, because that would be too disrespectful to Bronson Reed, because he has earned this. But
truth.
As I watched this match, I'm like, yo, NXT is definitely in need of this type of big man. I don't mean like the beefy guys like your Karrion Krosses, your Brock Lesnar, nothing like that. I mean like your Vaders, like your Yokozunas, in some cases Big Show and maybe Mark Henry, but they are in need of this type of big guy. And I think if he carries this title for just a little bit longer, it'll start to make more sense to everybody else why he's champion.
I like that.
Yeah, and then MSK. MSK is just fucking ridiculous.
Oh.
Fucking ridiculous. And I love the fact because it's funny how I looked at MSK before because they're neon colors and the way that their gear is. It's almost reminiscent of course like the DX colors, but like in a new way. Because anytime, I mean, granted with Wesley, you know, he has his fucking shorts, but like at Nash Carter, when I look at his tights, it almost looks like X-Pac's tights, like at least the bottom half. And that's why I can't get like the idea of DX out of my mind anytime I see them in the ring with that green, white, and then black gear. And then they come out and they're wearing black and green all together. And these guys look like a fucking stable. They look like they belong together as a fucking stable. And it hurts me that I can't give them an official name. God damn it. NXT, make them a stable.
Their official name is Champions as of right now.
Braun SK, nah.
I mean, yeah, because
MS Creed.
I mean, you can't leave out Kushida.
Yeah.
Oh
and
yeah.
They all have gold. And you know what's funny? I think they're trying not to like emulate, you know, the whole Undisputed Era thing when they had all the belts, because this, to me, this shit just happened. Like they just happened to put the belts on these guys that are all close knit. And
True.
I mistakenly watched the pre-show, and
I watched it.
Yeah, because I thought the whole show was going to start at 6:30 our time. It started at 7, but I started watching at 6:30, and I realized that I was actually watching the pre-show. And I do like how they showed the interviews and everything like that. But that was one question I did have. These press conferences that they have before all of these takeovers, when do they show those, or is that something they just?
First, I will say, if there has been a thing before, it is new to me. That one was the first time they ever did a press conference like that.
So do they show those?
It's on the network. It came on. I think that Saturday or that Friday. But yeah, it's on the network. But yeah, that press conference was new because I don't remember them doing it for Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, I remember they did it for Stand. Well, no, not Stand and Deliver. I think they did it for something else.
But this one is on Peacock, so
okay. Yeah. Okay. So, but yeah, I actually enjoyed their pre-show. Like their pre-show actually made more sense than like the obnoxious shit that happens on like main roster pre-shows. Like they actually focused. They took time for the pre-show to focus on all the matches. Promo, the interviews that they did were specifically catered to the matches that happened. And I enjoyed it. And I like the fact that they doubled back on that they doubled down on that during the show, where they actually did the same like promos and vignettes that they showed on the pre-show to keep it consistent. So that was good. But with this match, I mean, everybody that came in this match showed out.
I'm not mad that MSK and Reed retained, but it would have been, you know what? I think if it wasn't for the fact that Santos was already Cruiserweight champ, I think that might have affected the booking decision just a tad.
Well, the way that and the reason for my decision on that, my decision went in more earlier, but as the match went on, I started to remember that MSK is they have been defeated. I went into this thinking that they were undefeated, but I forgot that Legado del Fantasma actually did kind of embarrass them a little bit. But with Bronson Reed just becoming the North American Championship, but again, you know, like I said before, like it changed my perspective on him being champ, and more so now as him being an official North American champ rather than like an interim or a transitional champ for somebody else. So I am looking forward to watching what he does moving forward.
Do y'all think the LDF are main roster bound?
I would hope not.
I don't want them to yet either.
I think this might lead to a one-on-one match between Bronson Reed and Santos, because just kind of how the finish kind of played out and how the same thing that happened on NXT TV happened to Santos this time, except he actually went through the fucking barricade. So
if I had to give a highlight of the match personally, it happened early. Was when Bronson tagged in and seeing Santos tagging in Mendoza. Mendoza got hit, and then Santos came back in. He got slammed, and then the facials he was making, like, then he crawled over there, grabbed Wild's hand, go in there, just dumb it down. So I do love how they made Bronson Reed like the X factor of that match. I do like that.
Yeah.
But Bronson Reed definitely filled out that big man status to every
boy. When Santos hit him with that Michinoku driver, it was like, damn.
Yeah, I was surprised because when he tried to get him up the first time and he couldn't do it, but then he came in and got him up again. I was like, oh, it was a nice little shock.
Mm-hmm.
So shouts to that.
I didn't mind being wrong in this prediction at all. I didn't mind.
Now, granted, there were times where I did think Legado was actually going to take this.
Yeah,
I think it was two different spots that I thought that I was like, oh shit, I might be wrong, and they might pull the trigger on this. But yeah, and I at the same time, I think it's also credit to the full on tag division because of the fact that there's so much going on. Like it's like anything is possible. Like regardless of what's going on, those tag titles aren't just going to stay on MSK just because they're MSK.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, I don't want to do that. So we're going to just strictly stay on this. I don't want to bring in the other promotions or anything. So,
I honestly wish I could say that. Or go ahead.
I'll say this: I'm glad NXT does it better than WWE when it comes to stuff like that. So I'll compare promotion with promotion. I won't compare it to AEW or anything, but NXT does it right that MSK are the champions for a reason. It's not like Braun Strowman and a 9-year-old winning the title or when they gave it to the B team for like a week or MSK are the champions for a reason type of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It definitely helped that every time, like just everything that MSK was doing, like and Bronson were doing as a unison was like a highlight reel moment. There was nothing that they didn't do that I felt like didn't deserve a replay.
Yes.
Yeah. Bronson, I was not expecting a suicide dive out of him.
No.
like he showed out in force, and I don't know. After I saw him put Santos through that wall, I was like, "Oh, I think I know the direction this match is going."
Yeah, the moment he put Santos through that wall, I was like, "Yep, MSK and Reed are keeping it."
Yeah.
At that point, I definitely knew that was it. I wish I would have known what Santos was going to do with the North American Championship because he sure as hell screamed in front of the camera like he was about to do some legit shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It was like all for nothing. But yeah, I'm going to reiterate the fact that this was probably the best way to start the show off.
Yes.
And to just kind of set the standard of how the show was going to move forward. And of course, MSK, Bronson Reed, take it, they retain, and we'll see where they go next with their fucking championships. And then we'll see where Legado del Fantasma goes after this loss.
Yeah.
So that's where my intrigue really is because I want to know what feud they're going to start. So we'll see what happens there. But going from this to Mercedes Martinez and Xia Li.
There's one thing I'm going to chuck this match up to. I don't think it was a bad match. I just think we've personally gotten used to the big blow-offs happening at takeovers, and we have to sometimes give them the wiggle room to put in a match like this at a takeover, because otherwise, how else we're going to see new stars at a takeover if we don't give matches like this a chance? Because I was seeing a lot of people kind of being a little wishy-washy with the match. So that's how I personally look at it. Like, yes, we know the Coles, the Crosses, and all these other people are going to always be at a takeover and have matches at a takeover. But we got to give matches like these a chance to be at a takeover. Or otherwise, we won't never get breakout talents at takeovers.
Yeah, I agree, and I agree with you on that. And because there's a lot of people that will go into this match looking at it from a perspective of hoping to see like a Roderick Strong versus Matt Riddle, opening for a takeover where you get something like that, and it's like, oh shit. But then you get shit like this where you have Xia Li, who's being pushed to be unbeatable at this point, and knowing that she's more than likely going to win. I all our predictions. But the way that I went into this match, knowing that she was going to win, I took that whole thing out of my mind. Like, okay, yeah, I know the end of this, and my whole focus was on Mercedes Martinez to try to see, okay, how is this going to affect her in a loss? And just like when I text you guys, I'm glad they made her look strong in defeat, because granted, yes, Xia Li got the win, but you didn't take away from Mercedes Martinez losing, because now, of course, obviously, she's not done with T.A.G, obviously. No.
Right.
But you had Xia Li win decisively in this match. And yeah, it definitely wasn't a bad match, but I looked at this more so for like the story aspect of it. So
that's where I feel like the biggest drawback to this match was those post bell. Like, because Xia Li and Mercedes Martinez put on a hell of a match. Let's not put that down at all.
Yeah.
However, before y'all continue, was y'all getting horrible quality watching this takeover?
No. Not during,
because Peacock was giving me the shittiest quality.
I watched it on Watch Wrestling.
I had issues on
the shittiest quality throughout the whole show.
I had issues with Peacock in the beginning, like when I was trying to get Peacock started, like the app was tripping. But as far as like watching NXT, yeah, it was cool. It wasn't.
Like I said, watching it was cool, but as far as the quality it was giving me was horrendous.
Yeah, really? No, my quality stayed consistent.
Like I even exited out the app. I did some stuff and it was still horrible. But I'm sorry, Jaeger. What was you saying now?
Oh, you're fine. No, it was just post match or post bell when Boa handed her the chair, and then she looked like she had like some doubts about using it, and then Mercedes just, I don't want to say destroys her, but just dominates her throughout that, and then calling out the T.A.G. It felt like it kind of it made Mercedes look strong, but at the same time, you're making Xia look weaker from this. Like, she's supposed to be a new dominant force, yet she just got like wrecked via weapon nonetheless. But again,
to the credit, when they was training, they was using kendo sticks, not steel chairs.
Fair.
They was using kendo sticks, not steel chairs.
And does this mean we're going to see T.A.G. in the ring now, or what does this mean with her getting a single chokehold on her like 3 times and then throwing her into a barricade?
Apparently, people keep mixing that up too.
Well, all right. So with
the stable.
Yeah, with Mei Ying.
Mei Ying is that. That's right.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was laughing at first when she did get in that little like grip.
Yeah.
But when Mercedes sold that throw into the barricade,
yes,
I was like, "Yo, cool." But it is funny because with Mei Ying being so short, and then seeing it from that, it's like,
It's like you got some mystical strength, I see.
But I did say that, like, I think a month ago about this. I was like, okay, well, they want to make her this whole mystical like type being. How is it going to translate to the ring if and when she actually does get into a match? You know, that's where my disconnect is going to come into play. But you know, again, still have to wait and see. I do appreciate, you know, the whole story aspect, but I'm not mad at Xia Li somewhat looking weaker in this because of how they've built up her and Boa in this situation. It's more catered to her actually getting stronger within each like setback. So they've built that in there already to where they can have her do that and still come back and then dominate. So I'm cool with that. And look at me sitting here making trying to fight for this shit.
Yeah.
Go figure, NXT.
I just felt like it was, well, for lack of a better word, a little extreme for Mercedes to go off on her that much.
Yeah.
But like you just said, like come Tuesday, if she's in a match or in the weeks ahead and she's in a match and then she comes back looking stronger than before, then yeah, I'll be cool with it.
Dope shit. Yeah, well, yeah, Xia Li still undefeated within this run. And Mercedes Martinez still looking strong. Just, you know, got tossed into the barricade. Glad she sold it like she did. Hope to see her back on her feet. Hope she didn't hurt herself in that selling. But, you know,
wait. Xia Li though.
Yo.
So yeah, we had this conversation, and it's very apparent that Xia Li on TV and then Xia Li on Instagram, it seems like there's two different people, because it's like just like we had said before, the TV does her no justice.
No.
Right.
Because she almost looks different on her Instagram. And I'm jealous because
even her whole aesthetic last night, I was like,
yeah. It looks like she
want to
took
step my gym game up.
Looks like she took a couple of those braids from Lance Archer, though.
Oh, you know, now that y'all said that, because y'all said that he looked like he cut his hair. Now we know where his hair went.
Right.
But yeah, going from that to,
and this is where I got pissed off.
Oh yeah, okay. Well then, Scoot.
I wasn't happy about this one either.
It's $1 million championship ladder match.
Let me say this, since we're really kind of just recapping it. The match was not bad. The match was not bad, but I was legit upset at the winner.
Really?
I did not want LA. It didn't need to happen. Cameron. So the problem is with an LA Knight. Personally, LA Knight's build and personality is gonna work. Cameron Grimes is the one who built himself to where he's at now. Because you see Cameron Grimes had to change into his quote unquote big money gimmick in order for the crowd to really start to resonate.
Yes.
So
true.
I'm not saying they killed his buzz or killed his push, but
they kind of killed his character development.
You definitely heard it with LA Knight winning.
Right.
And kudos to Grimes for taking that sick ass bump at the end. But you definitely hurt because Knight didn't need this.
Where I agree there, I'll also say it fits, however, with LA Knight, being that Ted DiBiase was the heel that he was.
True.
And LA Knight, I don't want to say it 100% fits LA Knight. This could have just as easily been a brand new light for the $1 million title to be like on somebody who is like, for lack of other words, beloved by the fans at this moment. LA Knight is acceptable for a winner of this, but I mean, just because it fits the role. However, like you just said, Scoot, he didn't need it. This would have been, I agree, much more fitting on Grimes.
And both are absolutely right. Now, of course, going into this match, I wanted Grimes to win. But just like I said when we did our predictions, my reasons for picking LA Knight was because of booking. Because you think about a heel having this, and to see with Grimes being pretty much a face now, him chasing for that title gives longevity to this whole storyline. And I think that's what they're trying to do, because with Grimes winning this, it would have just been like almost like a bookend, because it's like, well, where do you go? But I think they're trying to solidify more of Grimes being a face with this, because I mean, you look at it when LA Knight came out, like they just didn't give a shit.
No, they booed.
Yeah,
they were not. They were
saying LA sucks.
Yeah. So, shouts out to the CWC for having fans.
Yes, like no screens, no fucking screens whatsoever.
CWC having fans. Oh, a quick rewind. Did y'all notice the aesthetic of how they kept the TN Shaw thing during the match? The screen that they had up top, they still had the TN Shaw like flaming post things that was still.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah. If you go back and watch the Mercedes Martinez and TN Shaw match, they still kept the aesthetics to make it seem like this was more of a fight rather than
almost like a pit and shit. Yeah, okay, that's dope.
Yeah, they kept the TN Shaw theme still going around like the few screens they had up top.
Yeah, see, look at Scoop paying attention to shit I ain't even noticed.
But yes, I did notice how the fans were not in favor of Mr. Knight last night. And I did not mean to make that rhyme.
Well, which is good, because now that NXT knows for sure fact that everybody's behind Grimes, so they can push him as a face now to go after the $1 million championship, because it's catered for him. Like, just like I said before, him changing his gimmick and getting to this point, this whole thing would not have happened had he not changed his gimmick.
Yes.
So with that, him having that title makes the most sense. But to take it off of somebody who's going to continuously gloat and gloat and gloat, everybody's going to be clamoring for him to lose that title to Grimes.
That is
so that's where I think this is going. Now, if they don't do that, it's a complete lost cause. But I think this is where they're going to go. NXT smart. I have all the full faith. C-Trips, I have all the full faith in your storytelling. But yeah. But the bumps that they took, I mean, of course, Grimes took that end bump, but the way that some of these bumps that they took, I think Grimes took one on the ladder that was halfway.
Yeah, it was like more vertical. Yeah, he landed on a shoulder and all that.
The spot where I thought LA Knight hurt himself was when they had the ladder that was up in the corner, and they didn't have it. They had it standing up with the side beaming up. And he did that slam, and then the way Knight came down on it, I was like, "Ooh, shit!" But they took honestly some nice little bumps.
I like the way that he was perched, or I guess thrown over the rope, onto like slamming onto the ladder. And they got a good shot of this where the ladder was like nice and cracked, and then he was kind of dangling off of it.
Yeah.
I'll say one gripe, but on two occasions, is where the cameraman caught like Knight looking at the mat, like trying to see where Grimes was at as far as ladder progression went. And then when they both went over the apron, or went over the ring to the floor, and you see Knight like saying something to Grimes.
Oh yeah, when they're in front of the announce table. Yeah,
Knight, like, you good? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it wasn't a bad match. But hearing your thoughts on it, Dizzle, helped me more. But I'm not gonna lie, I was highly disappointed.
As you should be.
If I don't see where it goes, Dizzle, then if I don't see,
you shit all over it.
It's gonna go looking as brown as a Cameron Grimes jacket and hat.
But LA Knight goes over. He is our new $1 million championship. I don't know if they're going to treat this like an actual title. I don't see them doing it, except for with Grimes trying to win it. But But other than that,
excuse me, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of do it like how NXT UK had that Heritage Cup. Because was it A-Kid had won it? And then I know a month or so ago he lost it to Tyler Bate. So Tyler Bate now has the Heritage Cup. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do it something like that. where it's something defended every then and now type of situation.
Okay. I could
I
see them doing it.
Yeah.
I could see, and I'm like booking this way down the road, like assuming Grimes takes this $1 million title.
Mm-hmm.
I could see someone in Hit Row holding it after Grimes.
Top dollar.
I mean,
Something like that. Something like that.
I mean, why
or
not?
maybe even Swerve himself. Who knows? Just for the bragging rights.
I don't know. I think I can see Swerve being the one to beat Bronson at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
I give Bronson 2 more defenses at least.
Okay.
And then we get into that program.
But the next
fight
match,
Cross.
This matter of fact, I was about to say this has Scoot written all over it, but there was a surprise in this match that Jaeger had to unpack.
I mean, that
got FedEx Expressed. Raquel Gonzalez defending her NXT Women's Championship match against Ember Moon.
I have 1.5 gripe.
Wait, 1.5.
1.5.
1.5.
1.5. The one gripe is I hope pretty soon they can move away from Dakota always interfering.
Yes.
That's the one gripe.
That was my gripe.
I hope they can start moving forward to where eventually take the X factor of Dakota out, because it's not putting my girl Raquel in the best of light as a 6-foot champion.
I have something to say to that, but I'm gonna get to that later.
And the half gripe, how dare Shotzi Blackheart stick her nose in business where it don't belong? Yeah, I said it.
Sir.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
she never touched Raquel though.
She did not.
That is true, but she still
She got rid of the X Factor, and to be honest, Shotzi should have came right back out there and got herself even with Raquel after she had gone through some things.
I guess at Great American Bash, July 6th, it's probably going to be Shotzi and Raquel.
Probably.
So
I will say this.
That didn't know, they did announce that Great American Bash.
And yes, just small sidebar, the guys, but Dakota Kai though.
Like Dakota Kai though. Like
Dakota Kai,
you know what? Though. I'm not gonna lie. Ever since she went heel, Dakota Kai though. Like
Kiwi Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw.
I mean, granted, it was that expensive Yo Girl Dizzle, but Dakota Kai though.
Yeah, I know. Tegan's gonna be back though. But I will say this, because just like I said about Bronson Reed, there were some things about Raquel being champion that kind of turned me off a bit just on how the booking went. But looking at how she is in these matches, and we've come on here and said, how somebody becomes a champion, just like we said with Kaylee Ray, with how she became champion, it's like nobody ever looked at her as a champ. And as soon as she became champ, it's like, oh, it just flipped. It's not the same with Raquel, though. The difference is that Raquel is elevating since she has become champ. It's like every match she has, there's something new to her repertoire that makes her look even more. Like, of course, we've seen, the hard-hitting shit with her and Mercedes, but watching this match and watching the type of offense she used is half of that shit that she used was not used prior. And I love that, because she's keeping every one of her matches fresh. It's not the standard, oh, I'm the big woman, I'm going to sit here and dominate this. No, she's going in and she's actually doing things that most people wouldn't think of for somebody at her height.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, because it keeps me intrigued and interested in watching more of her matches, regardless of how they book her as a champ. When she comes in, I'm like, I know I want to see something different when I come into this match, and I know I'm going to see it. So there's that. Now, to address the Dakota situation.
Wait, hold on. Before we address the Dakota situation.
Okay. All right.
I'll give praise to the fact of, one, Raquel being always beautiful, but the fact that she can work with smaller opponents.
Yes.
She made Ember shit look good.
Yeah.
She did. And
she made Ember shit look good.
And they're protecting the Eclipse. Like they're still protecting
the Eclipse, yes.
So kudos.
I mean, that move is too good of a finisher to not protect. Let's just be real.
I remember when she first debuted, I didn't really know her like that, but my brother did. And he was like, have you not seen her finisher? And I'm like, what? He was like, it's a top rope stunner. And I'm like, it's a what? And when I first saw it, I was like, how is this a thing? And how can she hit this so perfectly?
Yes.
Every time. That move solely relies on Ember.
Yes.
Ember is 100% the reason if that move succeeds or fails. And it's beautiful. When it's hit, it is beautiful. But okay, now what you saying about it?
I love that since this Raquel match that she now has a new way to apply it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. She definitely does. And I'm glad that with the way they made Raquel look too, it took a modified Eclipse, and then it took something else. I forgot what Ember did after that, but then it took an actual Eclipse for her to actually potentially get 3 until Dakota put the leg on the rope. But to segue to Dakota, this is perfect. This is perfect because this is a way for them to give Dakota a gripe, because they keep having Dakota interfere. Then what's going to happen is Dakota's going to end up being, well, you wouldn't be champ if it wasn't for me. I should be champ if that's the case. I keep helping you out, so then I should go ahead and be champ then, because you're clearly not doing it. So that's what's going to set up that feud, and then push Raquel to do it on her own, and then show her out as a champ, because all these matches they used to have now,
only at the top,
perfect experience gainer for her.
Yes.
For that way, when she takes on Dakota, she'll go from that, and then she'll be on her own solo, showing everything that she's learned up to this point. That's what I was seeing. So I know you want Raquel to do it on her own.
I do.
But
I know what's coming soon. I know.
Was this the first time I seen her put the belt like on her back like that, like spin the belt around for her little pose?
That's how she's been doing it.
That's a thing, yeah.
Okay, I don't know why I just finally recognized it as well.
She did it with the tag title.
Yes.
Okay.
Even though we had it for an hour, but you know.
I just finally recognized her doing it like that. Maybe it's just because of the way they were doing the intro for the match.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn, that looks good on her. Like the way she does that.
You know what's funny? You brought attention to it without bringing attention to it one time. You brought attention to it one time when you said Raquel does her best to show off that back of hers.
You're absolutely right.
She was women's champion.
Well, that's me gonna be slapping past Jaeger now. Let's just reach back in time here.
Before we get to the main event, I know there was a promo with Tommaso and Toothless Timpy, hence the name, and I can't wait for that tornado tag match Tuesday. Can we give a shout out? And I'm looking at the photo, and I'm gonna read the hashtags. Can we give a shout out to the Headband Kid, Theory Power, 123 Candace, Indy Ramone, and Hunter Hearst Houndsley?
Wait, hold up.
Did you not see the full photo with all four of them?
I did not see this.
I did not.
Go to Johnny Gargano's Instagram because it will show up kind of blurry here. But yes, the Headband Kid, Theory Power, 123 Candace, Indy Ramone, and Hunter Hearst Houndsley. I want to give a shout out.
Oh my gosh!
I'm kind of mad that I'm kind of mad that Candace and Indy didn't have a match to say they had that gear on.
But it should have just came out. It should have just came out with Johnny.
They should have had.
They should have,
because it would have made more sense with Johnny's gear.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, damn.
Yes. That is.
if you went to Johnny's Instagram, they surprised Triple H and Shawn with it, and they said Trips and Shawn had no idea that they was doing it.
That's cool. That's cool.
That
But
is.
yeah, so special shout out to that because that was attire of the night.
Yeah, because when I seen it at first, I was like, "Wait, what gladiator gear you got on?" And then like when he walked up more, and then I seen everything, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I already knew prior to the match that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, I knew because of Instagram prior to the match. That's what they had on.
Well, I got the nice little shock value, but I do wish they were all there because then they could have showed that. Because then I would have been like, "Yo, nice homage to the fucking Click, for real." But but yeah, definitely. But nice little segue too, Scoot, because Johnny was the first man out there.
The aesthetics of this match, I will say this: not only was this match of the night, I'm not mad at the winner.
Neither am I.
I don't appreciate the fact that you choked out the one that I picked. But besides the point,
I don't appreciate the fact that my pick was at the tail end of all this.
Right? But the aesthetics of this match, everybody coming out with Gargano coming out, him doing his thing, and then I love the whole O'Reilly coming out, Gargano on the outside of the ring, and him looking at O'Reilly like, go on in the ring and do your little entrance. I'm not gonna do that to you. And then it was Pete Dunne.
Mm-hmm.
And Pete Dunne in the icy white gear.
The white.
The icy white. Like, and then Cole coming out looking like money, like the superstar he is. And then, of course, you had the champ, Karrion Kross, who stood in the middle to let them know, this is my NXT. This is my title. This is my ring. Come and get it.
Yo, but for the end of his entrance and all four of them to be at each corner.
Yes.
Like, they did that so seamlessly, yes.
And did you see the little LED boards of how they had the names listed?
Oh, no.
All of it. The aesthetics of all of that. Because like they had the names going vertical, but they had Cross's name in the center with him being the champion. All big and everything. And it was like the whole aesthetics of this was amazing.
I need to go back and watch that.
Yeah. Like I said, it's fucked up as Peacock was giving me blurry feed, but the aesthetics of all of this was pretty amazing. And to just see these five. But though you said your man was taken out, he might have been MVP of this match.
Yeah.
One thing we have to say about Cole. Motherfucker is over.
Yes, like
period.
Like bye.
And that's the thing. Wrong. And I'm glad he kept the boom on his entrance.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely glad he kept that. He's always gonna have Adam Cole, baby. Like that's gonna always be his thing. But I'm glad he kept the boom, and I'm glad that everybody was with it because all they had to do was do the fucking count, and then just in sequence at the whole like.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know if you have a crowd in the building, just send Adam Cole out there. You'll know how many people are there.
Right?
Yeah. I like that his tights were exactly Money in the Bank formatted. Maybe that's foreshadowing for other things, but we'll see.
Oh, damn. I didn't even think about Oh, no. Oh, no. No.
I mean, where does he go from there? Unless he asks for a one-on-one match, it makes sense to go ahead and just send it.
He might, and I mean, and you know what? It's turning, and I'll get to it after. But yeah, this whole fucking match, there was part of it that kind of pissed me off because it started to look like the typical like multi-man match where everybody scatters out the ring. You got two at a time in the ring and hitting their spots. And then I started to have like a nice little confliction within myself because then it started to come out. It's like everybody started hitting their spots and then everybody came into the ring and then they were really doing it to where I was like, oh, I'm not mad at it anymore. fuck y'all for changing my mind. But yeah, it's
I like that Cole and O'Reilly just went straight back at it.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Continuity was on point.
You know what spot that really was getting me in this match was like a little bit later when everybody was doing team up moves. Like one person would do the slam and another person would do a kick and they'll do a move and then I was like, the innovation is just, and I love every time Karrion Kross was getting taken out, he would come back like, all right, son of a bitch.
Y'all not gonna take my title. Which one of you motherfuckers hit me?
like y'all won't take my title without me being involved in this shit.
Right.
Yeah, they found a way to build everybody up the right way. Of course, Kross being strong enough to be the one that kind of takes off everybody on his own. But the way that everybody came into this match there was a whole bunch of skepticism on the IWC with everybody being like, well, maybe these guys, not Gargano, but as far as like Dunn and O'Reilly, for the most part, not being like championship caliber. Everybody came out of this match looking better. Like I looked at these 5 guys as
any of those 5 could have won.
Yes,
and it absolutely would have made sense.
Yep.
And now I want to see Dunn and Kross.
And you know what? That's the one thing I love with the aspect of Kross. And I love everybody else. Like I love the confidence of I don't give a fuck about you being 6'4" in Meat Castle. If I want your title, I want your title. Like I love the aesthetic of how Dunn got in the ring and he was like, "Let's go!" Like he was like, "Let's do it." So I do love that.
He had the like just like Cole, he had the fans the whole time as well.
Yes,
I did not ever not hear Bruiserweight throughout that.
Yeah, and that's and I'm glad you said part of that, Scoot, with how everybody kind of looked at Kross is the fact that now with this match, I can see everybody being able to have a one-on-one match with Kross and it actually being a legitimate match. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that was probably by design because I think that more than likely all 4 of these guys are going to get a one-on-one shot with Kross. And I think it makes sense. Again, later on, I'm going to get to that as to why. Okay. But yeah, Kross takes it, chokes out O'Reilly of all people.
Look, the aesthetic of that was amazing. How he had the heel hook on Cole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He had the heel hook on Cole, and the whole time I'm sitting there like, and then you see that fucking looming shadow of Karrion Kross come in, him putting the straitjacket, but O'Reilly still had it. So I was like,
yes.
The next thing you know, Ashley called it out first. She was like, oh my God, look at O'Reilly. O'Reilly was slumped. Like he was slumped. Like he sold that beautifully.
Yes.
He sold that cross jacket beautifully. And it was like, no. And then he checked the arms and no.
It started going limp. I was like, ooh, shit.
It was like, son of a bitch. But I still have my criticisms about Kross's dominance, but I'm not mad at this match at all. At all. It was a great way to close the show. I'm not mad at it. The only thing I was thinking to myself personally, at times it was like, I can't help but to wonder how this would have looked if Finn was in this match too. That was the only thing.
If Finn was in this match, that would have been my pick.
Like that was my only gripe. It was like I hate the fact that Finn had that title shot because it was like this would have been a beautiful 6-man, a 6-pack challenge. Like it would have been beautiful.
Yeah.
But this was still a great match.
My only question.
Kudos to all 5.
My only question after this match is who the fuck does Kross face now?
Oh, that's simple. Now well, hold on.
No, let me hear it.
Sorry, the true end of the show. Mackenzie.
You know, NXT poured a Marvel movie on us.
Yeah. They had a
You know
little
what?
nice
Wait,
Little
hold
post
on.
credit.
Hold on.
I like
I will
that.
say this because the whole time Cross was celebrating a little long, and I was like, "Yo, is Samoa Joe about to come out here and lay hands on this man?" Because like they were showing him, then they showed the replay again, then they showed him at the ramp. I was like, "Yo, this is set up for somebody to come out and lay hands on this man." But nope, we get the Marvel movie.
Yep.
And that's Mr. Diesley.
And I'm glad you said Samoa Joe, because last night, the moment that I saw Rigo and he had his thing, because for weeks I've been coming on here and I've been pointing out shit that every time somebody says something, it's gonna lead to something. It's gonna lead to something. And sure enough, Rigo was like, I've been doing this for 7 years. It's time for a change.
Not only that, I don't know if y'all paid close attention to the details. He was crying. He had tears in his eyes.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, if you look carefully, you can see some tears like down his cheek.
I caught it like as he was actually closing the door and Mac was following him. Like he saw that single one over here, but then when she got a full on the face, I was just like, "Oh, this man crying."
Damn. Well then, again, I need to go back and watch that shit again. But I had sent out a text because I immediately popped in my head. I was like, Samoa Joe might be the one to replace him until he returned.
And that's what all the reports today were saying.
And it's funny because even when I said, and I'm glad that I said that until Rigo returns, because this is where all these single matches come into play. I see Joe coming in and trying to, run shop on Rigo's away, being the interim GM, and people still causing problems for him. Mainly Cross. People Cross causing problems for him, and him just being like, hey, I'm not Regal. I'll fuck you up. But I feel like Cross is going to have all these contenders and have all these singles matches while he's having this whole side shit with Joe, and then Regal's going to come back and set that shit up, and Joe is going to take that title off of Cross.
Well, they did say they're looking to where it might be. Joe might, like you said, interim until he's, I guess, cleared by WWE doctors.
Yes.
So probably until the next TakeOver, roughly, which would be sometime in August or maybe September, depending on if they do it before or after SummerSlam.
I give Cross at least 2 to 3 more defenses before he starts something with Joe. And then Cross is going to lose, go to main roster. Joe's going to wreck shop like Finn did on NXT, because, this is a complete separate contract from main roster NXT. He is solely working with NXT.
He is NXT, yes.
Oh, I didn't know those specifics for Joe.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff came out today.
Yeah, he is strictly NXT.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Again, shouts to Triple H for fighting for Joe hard to get him back somewhere, because Joe was going to go somewhere else.
He was.
Clearly. So, Joe should have been WWE champion in some way, shape, or form. Like, there's no reason for why he should not have been.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Brock Lesnar champion.
But yeah, with that shit out the way, with NXT TakeOver in Your House 2021 wrapped up in a nutshell, do we have any final thoughts on the overall show?
Not the show. Since we at the end, let me discuss it. Kenny Omega versus Moose. We're gonna do something a little special. This is a hot tag and a half, because I did watch most of the pay-per-view, but the only thing people cared about was Kenny Omega and Moose. Now, to keep y'all updated of what happened with the whole situation, 2 weeks ago, Sami Callihan beat Moose in a match.
Okay.
So Sami Callihan was going to get added to that match. So it was going to be a triple threat match for the title. What happened was Callis got all pissed off about it, and they had a summon because even Tony Khan showed up this past Thursday.
Yeah.
And what they announced was the winner out of Kenny and Moose was going to fight Callahan at Slammiversary.
Mm-hmm.
And that this match was so major, as you saw, Jaeger, that the main event was going to be at Daly's place. So that's why the main event was at Daly's place. So of course the match was going how it was going. It led to, I think, Moose spearing the ref. And then the Young Bucks came out. They super kick partied Moose. They helped Kenny get Moose up for the one-winged angel. Of course, they wake the ref up. 1, 2, 3. Omega retains. Lights go out. Callahan comes. He starts beating up on the Young Bucks, and he was about to do the whole back to the chair to Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
And right when he did that, Callis fired him.
That I didn't see.
Callis fired Callahan. So now this week they're going to discuss what's going to happen at Slammiversary in this whole situation. So that's all what happened with that match.
See, now I gotta go watch this match. Like, I know I said I was going. I know I said I was gonna get to it. I just didn't.
Like I said, the rest of the pay-per-view was okay, but this all depends on how you feel about Impact. But the match wasn't bad between Kenny and Moose. It was just one of those, unfortunately,
more story-driven.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was like, is Moose about to really beat Kenny type of things? So,
especially when you already announced a match for their next pay-per-view.
And plus, you already did that. So, yeah. So to throw in that little extra tidbit for the peeps out there.
Yeah. And now y'all know. Of course, I mean, if anything happens, we definitely gonna get into it when we talk about AEW this week. But yeah. Wait, let me pull you. Yeah, you got any final thoughts or anything you want to jump on? Outside of shots.
God damn it. Get out of my head. But no, that's about it. Like, I was glad to see Bay come back in force. That was real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouts out to that. I'm sure she came in to one. She went out for you, man.
I like that little showing though, as Gargano's like coming up to the ramp, and you see Shotzi and Ember going at Raquel and Dakota in the back, just adding to the chaos that Regal just had no control over.
Poor Regal.
I felt bad for Papa Regal at that end. I was like, oh man, don't leave.
I do too, man. I don't really have any closing thoughts on my end. I'm enjoying the ride. I look forward to my predictions being correct on these fucking storylines. I mean 5-0. Yeah, I mean it's cool. You know, if I can get these stories right, Joe come in. We have these matches. Cool. If Bronson Reed has 2 or 3 matches. Raquel, and Dakota have their thing. Cool. I just the crown's here. It's just the crown's here.
You're the only one wearing a hat right now, so
I mean, it's look. Y'all see the crown. The aura is there. The aura is there. 5-0 people. 5-0. This guy. But yeah, I do look forward to seeing all you beautiful people again on the YouTube sphere. But as there you go. As I bid adieu to all of you and a 2 sweet to my bros, all right there, bam, 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 bam. And as always, until you see us later this week on 2 different occasions, NXT recap as well as AEW Dynamite. So look forward to that. But as always, until then, you beautiful mother effers, tag